Hail and welcome to a Norse Pagan's Guide to Simple Practice. I am Dave Martell, 8-year alderman of the Skaferling Sipshaft and member of the Norse Society, a private research institute dedicated to the study and development of the ancient Germanic religious tradition. Today what we're going to talk about is not sexy, it's not edgy, it's not mysterious. However, it is absolutely crucial and pivotal to developing the building blocks of a truly authentic religious experience, and that is lifestyle. And today we're going to talk about two concepts to help build that. The first is what is called Trunator. The second is Und. Remember these two words. Let's get started. What is Trunator? Trunator means correct practice, or more importantly, to be of good faith. To be of good faith. So what does this word mean? Where does it come from? Well, the first three letters, T-R-U, are the same that appear in the moniker also true. Also true. I'm sure you're familiar with this. Some may pronounce it also true or asatru. It doesn't matter. But the T-R-U, what this means is in devotion to or in faith with. So when you say you are also true, what you are saying is you are in devotion or in religion of the Asa gods, the Aesir, the Holy Golden, the gods. You are in devotion to them. You are in the faith of them. This word true, T-R-U, with a little apostrophe, is also coincides with the word true in English, T-R-U-E. They come from the same root, Proto-Indo-European root, that is drevos, drevos. Drevos became truth, true, and also tree. You see this particle also appear in the word druid. I'm sure you're familiar with the druids were. Druid, meaning id, meaning knower of dru, knower of truth. It's also no coincidence that man was made from trees. The first men, man and woman, Ask and Embla, created from trees, created from truth. It's also no coincidence that the Axis Mundi, the great cosmic pillar, Yggdrasil, is depicted as a tree, because it is also truth. So when you live true, when something is true, when something is Trunator, it is also true, T-R-U-E. Because that is what lends the power to the word true, as in how we understand it in English, is something that is true. Because the gods mandate truth. Natural law mandates truth. Erlog mandates truth. And that is the epistemological warrant for what is true. So, on to the next thing, Und. This is a very, very important concept. Und. Remember that word, Und. O-N-D. And the O has the two little dots, the little umlauts, as you would say in German, and it's pronounced Und. Again, in Proto-Indo-European, this word Und comes from an Indo-European word called atom. And atom in Saxon became aethum or aether, which became, I'm sure you're familiar with ether, the coin of phrase, turn of phrase, out into the ether. It went to Rome and became anima, to Greece became pneuma, and to the Norse it was ander, becoming under and Und. What is this? This is the gift given to us by Odin. If you read Voluspa, by the way, if you are just starting, the two most important texts for you to read are Voluspa and Havamal. These two texts are found in the Poetic Edda. I would suggest Carolyn Larrington's first translation. I think it came out in 2012, 2014, or something like that. Her first translation. Her second one is not good. Her first one is good. It's very easy for English readers. So how does the story go? Well, the creation of man, Ask and Embla, were made from trees. They were made from truth. Heynir gives Older, our consciousness. Lotor gives Lau, Lati, and Litur Goda. That is your physical form, the elements of your physical form. And Odin gives Und. What is Und? Und is the holy breath. Und is the holy wind. It is the animating quality of all life. Now let's go back to the Proto-Indo-European word. Adam. When that went east, that became Atman, and then later developed into what is called prana. 20th century occultists, 19th century occultists, they attribute this to a word called vril. Vril is not real. Vril is invented by occultists. It is not an authentic Germanic word. The true word is und. The true concept is und. Well, the Vedics, being the smart people that they are with the very beautiful, unbroken tradition that they still maintain today, they developed many, many wonderful things with this concept of Atman and Prana. They developed what is called the pranayamas. Pranayamas are a system of breathing and meditation. So why is Und so important? And how does it have to do with the Vedic stuff? How does that tie into Hinduism? Well, if you look at the cognates, you look at the two religions. Now, don't quote me on this. I'm not a scholar in the Vedic tradition, but this is from my research. So if any of you that are experts in Vedic texts, feel free to correct me. The master of wind in the Vedic tradition is Vayu, Pranavayu. And Vayu sits at the bottom of the mountain and turns the axis mundi. He is the master of the winds. Well, what does Odin do? He rides his horse Sleipnir up and down Yggdrasil, the axis mundi, and he gives the gift of Und, of wind, the animating quality. So how does Und help us in life with all of this historical and theological talky talk? How does it practically and pragmatically help us in life? Very simple. In modern times, we as human beings have been very much shaped by industrialization and modernity. And it hasn't shaped us into something that is very good, certainly not something that is primordial and true. So, how do we use it? What does it do? Well, firstly, I want you to stop and listen to yourself breathe for a second. You take short, shallow breaths. Most of us do, on average, right? Why is that? It's because the crushing stress of modern world puts our body in a state of stress and makes us breathe short breaths as if we are in fight or flight, because we are in a constant state of fight or flight. Ancient people did not breathe like this. Ancient people breathe deeply. They brought in all of that Und with every breath. When you breathe deeply, it forces you to stand up straight, giving your organs more room to move, more room to operate. It doesn't squeeze them and put them in a state of stress. It relaxes your body, brings more oxygen to your mind. And that is the foundation. You know, when you start going to the gym, what do they say? If you work out your legs and you work out your core, then the rest of it will build. If you have a strong foundation, you will have strength built from that foundation. Well, breath is the foundation of the entirety of your life. It is what animates you, physically and metaphysically. This isn't just physical oxygen. This also has representation metaphysically. So when you breathe deeply, you are giving yourself a foundation of health for the rest of your body and soul. Because your spirit, your physical manifestation, is an expression of your spirit, of your soul complex. So how else can this be applied to everyday life? Well, if you have good und, then plants and animals must have good und, correct? Well, if something has good und, you should keep it closest to the form as possible, that you can maintain the und from that thing that you eat, so you can ingest good und with your food and water and drink. What will have better und? A fresh steak from a local butcher that you slap on the grill with some salt and pepper and eat it mid-rare? Or a fast food cheeseburger that is all mushed up with a bunch of chemical gobbledygook? Obviously, the steak has better und. Fresh vegetables from your garden have good und. That's not the only thing that has und. Anything that you ingest or consume has good and bad und. The music that you listen to, the entertainment that you watch, the things that you engage with, the people that you hang around with, they have und too. And if they have good und, then it will rub off on you. So make und part of your lifestyle. I'm going to give you a breathing exercise now that you may start using with your meditation. This is your und work. So, you're going to want to sit straight, up and down. This is very, very good to start your day with. Sit straight up, body relaxed, comfortable. If sitting with your legs crossed is uncomfortable, say maybe you have a work injury or something like that, it's perfectly fine to lean your back up against the couch or even sit on the couch. What matters is you are comfortable and sitting upright, maybe in an office chair like I have here. It doesn't matter. You could even do it, say you leave for work early. You could just sit in the parking lot out front of work with your seat straight up. Practice your und before you go into work and start your day. You can do it that way as well. So, the way that you do this is you breathe in deep. However, you do it very, very slow. You want to breathe in so slow. So if you put a feather in front of your nose, it wouldn't move. And then exhale the same way. Do that 9 times. So these are the building blocks of creating a good lifestyle. But that's not it. The piety, as we spoke about in a previous episode with the Galder. Combine your Galder with your und work. And make sure that everything that you do has good und. You must work out. You have to be strong. This is not an easy path. This requires a lot of discipline. Eat good, think good, speak good, surround yourself with good people. Be good. And you also must be strong. Make no mistake. This is a heroic religion. You must be strong, so if the time comes and you have to do some warrior stuff, that you inflict violence upon your enemies and utterly destroy them. That is important. We are not out here advocating for violence. However, if you are required to perform violence, you must do so with the utmost bravery. And you must be prepared for that. and somebody that is meek and skinny and weak, or somebody that is morbidly obese and can't move. They can't do those things. You are the sword of your kin. You are the sword of the gods. You are in service to both your folk and also to the Holy Aesir. And you must fulfill this role. So, you must go to the gym and work out. You must eat good. You must consume good. And you must surround yourself with good. Combine your und with your Galder every single day. And you will begin to create the building blocks of a proper, authentic, and meaningful religious experience in the path of also true. Alu.